This is KGW News at Sunrise.
I think about how I'm going to start over.
A fire destroys this Southwest Portland apartment building. People left without a place to live. Some lost their pets. The smoke from that fire could be seen for miles. I-405 was shut down for a few hours. We're going to bring you a live report from what's left of this apartment building coming up in just a minute.
And we also have the latest special election results in Oregon this morning, including what appears to be a resounding no from Multnomah County voters over a proposed capital gains tax. We're breaking it all down for you in just a couple minutes.
Plus, meet the Washington doctor who's been in the fight against COVID from day one, and he's making predictions about the future.
Because the next pandemic will occur. It's just a matter of when. It's a matter of what the organism will be.
This weekend, Dr. Poe, too, will be on the TEDx stage sharing the lessons learned during the pandemic. But first, he tells me what still keeps him up at night about the virus. Our conversation coming up at 5:15.
Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday edition of Sunrise. We've got Rodney Hill on standby. Rod, I've noticed the last couple of nights. Much better sleeping weather.
It has. Now, especially last night. Now, this morning we are running a little bit warmer than we were 24 hours ago, but I hear you, man. I hear you.
It's cooler, Rod.
Here we go with the forecast. We are awaiting more sunshine today. You can see the brightness from the Wells Fargo camera. Of course, the sun coming up before 6 now. We're at 60 degrees outside. Yesterday at this time we were, I think, mid-50s. Right now, 75 is my projection at noon. I do have us back up to about 89 at 5 p.m. Yesterday it was 85. If we hit or don't hit 90 today, however that goes, I think this is our final chance to do so of the week. My updated 7-day coming up shortly.
All right, yeah, more from Rod coming up here in just a few minutes. But right now we do want to jump into our top story this half hour. Results from Oregon's special election. So ballots are still being counted at this point. But here's where things stand right now. We're going to start with the capital gains tax measure in Multnomah County that would have funded legal support for renters facing eviction. It's failing right now. So far, nearly 82% voting no on this measure. Staying in Multnomah County, voters did approve a renewal of the Portland Children's Levy for the fourth time. 69% went with yes on this one. In the Multnomah County Commissioner's race, former Nike executive Julia Brim Edwards has a firm lead right now with 58% of the vote in her bid to claim the District 3 seat. And in the race for Portland School Board Zone 3, retired elementary school teacher Patty Sullivan is in the lead with 56% of the vote. The interesting thing here, Derek Peterson, who previously ran for Multnomah County Sheriff, withdrew from this race after reports surfaced tying him to Christian nationalists. But his name remained on the ballot, and nearly 32,000 people still gave him their vote.
And the youngest mayor ever appointed in West Lynn is leading his race by a landslide. You might remember Roy Bialystowski. The 23-year-old was appointed interim mayor back in January. He took over the role after former Mayor Jules Walters resigned to represent District 37 in the state legislature. As of 10:30 last night, Bialystowski has 80% of the vote. And of course, we will continue to have the latest on election results throughout our area on KGW.com. You can look at the latest results also right now by going online, as well as all of our social media pages. And you'll see our latest election results. This morning, fire investigators will be at this Southwest Portland apartment building trying to figure out what caused a huge fire to throw up that gigantic plume of smoke that could be seen really from miles away. The 113-year-old building was engulfed in flames starting yesterday morning. Crews had to rescue some of the people living there. Others used fire escapes.
So 14th and Taylor, right around the apartments, is blocked off this morning. Crews are worried that part of the building could collapse. Devin Haskins is there live for us this morning. Devin, what else can you tell us?
Yeah, right now, as you said, Southwest 14th blocked off here, so I'm at Southwest Salmon and 14th. Fire crews have been out here all night long, just keeping an eye on the fire. The fire is out right now. You can see one of the fire crews coming down the ladder right now, just kind of getting a look from the overside. One of the firefighters actually just came up to us and said that the roof is completely gone, but the fourth floor is still there. Another major concern is that wall that's on the southwest 14th and Taylor side. That, yes, that looks like it's buckling out. It is, in fact, buckling out, and that's one of the major concerns about if that will fall or when that will fall. Around 60 apartment buildings 60 apartments make up this building. While some residents walked out on their own, others were trapped on the fire escapes, leaving everything behind, including their pets. The 4-alarm fire started around 10:30 yesterday morning, and at the height of it, more than 120 fire crews were on scene. Smoke so thick that I-405 had to be completely shut down yesterday afternoon. It's since been reopened. The Red Cross did set up an overnight shelter at the University of Portland campus. It's not clear how many residents, though, were displaced by the fire. This more than a century-year-old building, built in 1910, had unreinforced masonry walls, which is a big cause of concern, like I said, for the potential or eventual collapse. At least one firefighter was injured in the fire. We're told he received a cut on the forehead after the fire blew out some glass windows, but then continued working. Flames could be seen ripping through the roof, shooting multiple feet into the air, all while residents watched their building burn from across the freeway.
I thought maybe it was started in my apartment for some reason, so I opened the front door, black smoke in the hallway. I knew I wouldn't get down, so I had to take the fire escape with my dog.
When we went down to the 3rd floor, it looked like it was coming out from there, and it's pretty darn scary, so we all evacuated the building, and then we watched the flames just burst open.
The city says it had sent a letter to the owner of the building noting 10 violations after residents complained, but as of Monday, a city inspector found most violations had actually been corrected. Fire alarms were a big concern. Portland Fire says, though, they were working and going off. Many residents didn't believe that the fire alarms were going off because they had been going off so frequently most recently, and so they just thought it was another false alarm. Fire investigators will be back out later today to try and see if they can determine a cause, and also a building inspector will come to take a look at the building. Again, as we said, it is looking to seem like it is leaning. For now, we're live in Southwest Portland. We'll send it back to you.
Yeah, a lot going on. Keep us posted, Devin. Thank you. Other headlines this morning. A 4th Oregon lawmaker has been disqualified from running for re-election. State Senator Cedric Hayden from Fall Creek reached 10 unexcused absences yesterday on day 11 of the GOP legislative walkout. Republicans now say they're boycotting the session because bills on gun reform and abortion are hyper-partisan. A new law prevents any lawmaker with 10 unexcused absences from running for re-election. Right now, 6 other Republicans have 8. Up in Olympia, Governor Jay Inslee signed a law making drug possession and public use of drugs in Washington a gross misdemeanor. Both chambers passed the bill yesterday, the first day of the special session. Lawmakers failed to agree on a compromise during the regular session, which meant drug possession would have become legal statewide as of July 1st. The new law also creates a pretrial diversion program to get people into treatment. And a heads up this morning, if your commute takes you over a downtown Portland bridge, beginning at 7 a.m., Multnomah County says expect frequent bridge lifts because the Willamette River is running high. The Broadway, Burnside, Morrison, and Hawthorne bridges will be staffed 24/7 through at least early next week. And those are some of your Wednesday headlines.
All right, that was a live look at downtown Portland by way of our, what was that, our Rose City Skycam?
Yes, sir.
Now we've got, what, our Wells Fargo Skycam?
Yes,
Yep.
sir.
Oh, yeah, I've been here 16 years, just figuring it out. We've got all those Skycams. Rodney Hill, right where he's supposed to be to deliver today's forecast.
Hey, by the way, let me say that bridge lift story, overall, that's a good story. It means we've got a good, healthy snowpack. Rivers are running high this time of the year, which you would want them to be. So good news, right? Good news. I mean, not great news if you're sitting there, you know, while the bridge is going up, but that's the way it goes. All right, here we go. High pressure ridge. See the green and yellow colors. This is the warm pattern. Yesterday, 85 actually snapped what had been a 4-day run of 90-degree temperatures. So that's over, but the 4 days stands as the most 90-degree heat we've ever had in the month of May since PDX records began back in 1940. Okay, we may hit 90 today. I've got us at 89, but I have lowered the temperatures in the coming days, so I really feel like today's going to be our final day this week. to hit 90. And then this is Sunday, which we've been talking about. Remember Sunday, things start to change. We have a push of cooler weather coming in. You can see it in blue. And then let me play this one more time. Here we are next Wednesday. The cooler air is still on top of us. So growing confidence that maybe all of next week, certainly Monday through Friday of next week, will only be in the 60s and 70s, and several of those days have a chance to see some measurable rainfall. So we get through this week, and then we'll be much more comfortable. Right now, we're pretty quiet radar-wise. We do have some showers out around Baker City. Good morning to you folks out that direction between John Day and Baker City, and then up north along 395, some rain shower activity. The chance calls for a scattered shower or thunderstorm across eastern Oregon today, but not expecting much total activity. There's that camera view that Drew showed you from the top of the Wells Fargo building. We're at 60 degrees currently. Salem's about the same. Kelso's 57. Newport 52. Everybody's about the same, really. Ben's 54 this morning. John Day, good morning. Your current number is 54. Futurecast showed a little bit of early cloudiness backing off for partly cloudy skies coming to the beach. It shows a spotty shower there around Mount Adams and Jefferson, but this is 6:30. So obviously the Cascades, you could say mostly dry today, just watching for a spotty shower popping up. And again, not much thunderstorm activity even out over the Blues today. Pretty quiet overall. All right, Mr. Sunshine, Mrs. Sunshine, Miss Sunshine, 89 degrees in Salem today expected. Again, obviously maybe we hit 90. I just do the math. If you do the math from where we were yesterday, it would have us stopping just short. This shows 86 up in Longview. 89, we're going down. 89, 87, 86, 84, 73, 68, 70 degrees.
And he disappears. Rod, thank you. Hey, stay with us. Much more to come on Sunrise. A medical trailblazer gets ready to share his story on the TEDx stage. That Washington doctor revolutionized the way we test for COVID. And coming up, he shares the lessons learned during the pandemic. Our conversation is next.